Hey guys, today we're talking about goal setting and how to attain those goals. And the talk is inspired by Tammy, who asked me earlier today, where do I write down my goals exactly? And I thought, oh, that's a good topic because we often set goals, but what happens that we don't attain them? And what can we do better? What do the studies tell us to help us have better success at reaching those goals? So, number one, you should genuinely want your goal. So ask, why is this important to me? How am I going to feel when I reach this goal? How will my life be different when I reach this goal? So the more powerful it is, the more it's going to stick. And this is especially important when it comes to weight loss, because honestly, do you really want to do you want to weigh 140 pounds, or do you want to feel leaner, stronger, more confident and more comfortable in your clothes? So the deeper the reason is, the more you're going to stick to the plan. And I talked about your powerful reason why a couple of weeks ago. Now, that's not enough though. You also have to have a plan. And the first part of the plan is to write the goal down. And there's something about putting pen to paper that makes us more logical, makes us more clearer, and the goal might be more vivid to you. And write down, my goal is whatever. This matters to me because whatever. And the behaviors that I need to move me in this direction are. And of course, we've all heard of SMART goals. The goal needs to be clear, understandable, and measurable. But there's one important distinction, and that's between outcome goals and behavior goals. And Precision Nutrition, talks a lot about this. The outcome goal, I want to lose 15 pounds, or whatever your outcome is, I want to be more confident. That's my job to worry about. And you can influence it, but you can't really control it. What you can control is your behavioral goals. I will strength train 3 times a week. I will include protein in 3 meals. I'll plan and prep tomorrow's meal tonight. Those are the behaviors. So your outcome is your destination. Your behaviors are your map. What are you going to do today? The next thing we're going to do, so we've got our behaviors, we're going to strength train 3 times a week, so on. Then we have to drill down a little bit into the details and decide when and where. So instead of saying, I'm going to exercise 3 times a week, I'm going to exercise Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. I'm going to do my strength training. So a study has found that when we have if-then plans, we're more apt to achieve that goal. So when X happens, I'll do something else. Again, PN is big on this. So something that you already do, you make coffee every morning, put your meds by the coffee machine. When I pour my coffee, I'll take my meds. When I pour my coffee, I'll pour my water. When it's Monday at 9, I'll do my workouts. The next thing, and this is huge, a lot of studies have been done on this, that you need to plan for obstacles, because that's when our things go sideways and we typically haven't figured that out ahead of time. So think about what usually knocks you off track. When your day gets busy, what are you going to do? You're too tired to cook, what are you going to do? I've coached a lot of people who do so well, and then their favorite cake comes out. So we have to plan around that. Okay, what are you going to do when that happens? So successful people don't necessarily have less obstacles, but they have had a plan ahead of time what they're going to do when that obstacle appears. The other thing that studies have shown us, there was a large study done that found that people who monitored their progress reached their goals with more success more often than not. And I know the results, what's her name? It just escapes me right now. Rachel Cosgrove says, what gets measured gets managed. So we know that we do better when we measure our progress. So in our system, that's why you have your daily behaviors have little check marks. Okay, I've done this, I've done this. My clients are checking in weekly now. Bi-weekly works, like regular check-ins with your coach. The perceived rate of exertion on your workouts. Okay, you did your workout. How did it feel? How are you doing? And you want, it's really important that we use this tracking as data, information, not as judgment. It just tells us, it's feedback. The next thing we got to do is repeat the behavior consistently, over and over again. That's why it helps to have the new behavior attached to an existing one, like the medication beside the coffee. When I get my coffee, I'll take my medication. When I have my dinner, I'm going to walk right after. I'm going to meal plan every Sunday, whatever your plan is. And some behaviors take longer to master than others. So it's not about hitting a specific day or a specific number of times. It's just building that consistency. And then it's super important, I think, to have a minimum aversion. So what are you going to do? And it ties back into that obstacle. So what are you going to do when you have a busy day? And you can make a list. Okay, my full workout is 40 minutes. My minimum is the warm up and one strength set. My regular walk is 30 minutes. The minimum I'll do is 10 minutes. And those minimums aren't permission to give yourself a meal ticket. It's for those days that are particularly difficult. If your minimum becomes your standard, then you probably aren't going to hit your goals. So here's your goal setting worksheet you can use. My goals are, it matters to me because the behaviors that will get me there are, I will do this when and where. My most likely obstacles are, and if this happens, I will. And then track your progress. I think that's why the Ignite system works so beautifully. And the goal doesn't stick. The goal doesn't stick because you wrote it perfectly, or you hit a magic number, or you were incredibly motivated when you first started. It sticks because you had a plan of repeatable behaviors. You accepted that every day is not going to be perfect. You were able to conquer those obstacles. And when you hit obstacles, you just kept showing up. Results don't come from perfection. They come from consistency and becoming that person you want to be. So if you have any questions about our system, just let me know. I know most of you in here are already in the system, but if you've got questions, post them in the comments and let me know, and I will see you next week.